thinking, yo, that nigga was like 50 years old, bro.
Yeah.
What's going on right now? So yeah, it's true.
It's crazy.
It was very odd. So that was the first 2 years of high school, and then
Poor you.
By the time
I just realized, I'm like, this Matt's just coming into school trying to get an education, and he runs into all that shit.
Yeah,
he's probably like, Mom, I don't want this shit. I need to leave.
I don't know, man. It was just really weird.
It was a lot.
How did you get out of that? Like, did you go home and be like, I don't want to go to school, or like, it just the situation?
When I switched?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it was the summer between grade 10 and grade 11, and me and my friends were like, fuck, man, we don't want to, like...
It's not fun.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying my school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, the other thing, too, is that the way that it's set up in Mississauga
is
you always have a Catholic school, and then you have a public school that you can go to.
Within the same...
Within the area. You're assigned. Like,
yeah.
that's... Like, the area that you're in has
a
Catholic school, and then it has... a public school.
So pick one. Like, you can't go to a school across the city.
No, you can't do that. You have to do like a special exemption, and it has to be like it's a big deal. You can't.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Right. Yeah. So in Toronto, it's a little bit different.
It is,
in
yeah.
Mississauga, like there's literally a public school, and everybody goes to that public school.
So basically, it's like your jurisdiction.
Yes.
Right.
You have a certain
and literally, they know all the street names
and they map it out.
So they tell
map
it out.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh no, you're past the boundary. You can't."
And there's
come
people
here.
who are like a street over. It's like, sorry, you gotta go. You can't.
No, you can't do it.
Man, that's
so they're very strict in that way.
Yeah, sure.
And luckily, I was in an area where I had Rick Hansen as my public school, and I had St. Francis Xavier as my Catholic school.
Yeah.
And so I just went to Xavier.
Were you up on Mavis?
I was by Mavis and Eglinton.
Oh, yep.
So at the time, that was well within the boundary of both Rick Hansen and Xavier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I went to, like, me and my friends went to Xavier one day after school, picked up some forms, and I then went on the, like, 2-month campaign of trying to get my parents to sign the form and let me, like, get out of Rick Hansen. Mm-hmm. And my dad really wanted me to stay because he thought it was, like, good for my character. And I was like, I don't think this is...
Why? Sorry,
yeah, that was cool.
I don't want to mean to cut you off, but I'm just curious. Like, why would your dad think it was good for your character? Was he trying to toughen you up?
No, it's just that I couldn't articulate what was going on at the time.
Ah, okay.
That makes sense.
So
I get that.
You couldn't relate to him what was really happening.
Your dad's probably just like, yo, dog.
What's wrong with you?
Just go to school, bro.
Just go.
Right. Plus, Rick Hansen had no uniforms.
Yep.
My parents had to pay all this stuff to get the uniforms, like go to school.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, they appreciated the fact that I had taken the time, gone to get the form from the school. They literally just had to sign this thing.
Right.
I had everything laid out. I knew exactly which uniform I needed to do, what I needed to get, blah, blah, blah. And so, it took me 2 months to do it. Mm-hmm. And by about July, because we went in May to get the form, so by about July of that year, I was able to convince them to sign the form, and I went about, starting the transition.
That's dope. So you made a conscious decision on your own to say, like,
for a high school student. That's dope.
No, it didn't make any sense.
But you know,
it just did not make
was
sense.
Was it that you didn't like the social environment, or you were like, I'm not going to succeed if I stay here?
Well, the social environment bleeds into my educational environment.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So, like, it was definitely distracting.
Mm-hmm. I'm just impressed that you realized at such a young age.
And I like that because that's indicative of the kind of guy you are. And I didn't know you like that. I didn't know you in high school. I knew of your existence, but we didn't really talk or nothing like that.
No, I was actually doing a lot of soccer at the time. Mm-hmm. And like, if you were part of the soccer team, we would have definitely known each other because nobody was. I was the only black guy that was on the fucking soccer team.
No, that's true. That's true. You know Kareem though. Remember Kareem, the Arab? He's not white,
Egyptian.
Not Egyptian kid.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, you know Kareem. Okay.
Definitely. We would like Kareem.
He lived in a Gabby place. That was the building right next to mine. So I
man.
know Kareem. Yeah.
Kareem, like me and Kareem would meet up. There's actually I lied. There was one other guy, and he was my friend.
What's his name?
Khalil. Right.
Yep.
So he was
Khalil. Yep.
He was one of my friends that was part of, like, we were on the soccer team, and we would go at like 6 at night, play from 6 to 10.
Yeah.
And like they would open up the gym for us. We play for 4 hours just practicing.
Yeah.
Like they would be the entire soccer team, both the senior and the juniors. Mm-hmm. They'd be there playing each other. Like it was that was great.
Yeah.
But again, nobody was hopping to jump on the soccer team, right?
Right, that's true.
So I definitely, like I say, back to my point, I definitely think that something like a football where you can, kind of
get it out.
Yeah, you can get it out, and it's really easy to say, you know, you guys from FBI, you guys are all pussies. You guys don't want to get hit in the face.
Yeah.
So why don't you
Just come
man up and let's go? If you're so bad, let's do it right here, right? So that, like I said, that was definitely an issue.
And what I like about what you're saying is the fact that what it sounds like to me is that, you know, you were always well thought out. And I think that's one thing that I learned about you in quote-unquote meeting you again about 3 years ago.
Right.
Is that even from talking to you then, I was like, yo, this dude thinks about shit. Like,
Oh,
you know, when you're in high school, like for me, I was like, I'm in Rickhanson, I'm here, so I'm just going to, I'm here. This is my school.
Yeah.
To me, the thought pattern of going to another school was never not, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think about those things. I just, well, this is the school I'm at, so whatever.
No, literally, when I went to Xavier,
the
first week, it was like, there was sun.
It was like night and day compared.
Everybody was so chill.
Yeah.
It was like walking into a family. And, you know, maybe you feel a little bit of an outsider.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're cool with each other.
Right. Yeah.
So you don't need to worry. You kind of know what the bounds are.
Right.
It's not, well, you have to know that this person doesn't like this person. If you click up with that person,
Right.
these people aren't going to like. It's not. It wasn't like that. Xavier at the time was really the place for me.
Right.
And the other thing too was, like, my grades shot up, and they were already like high 70s, low 80s at Rick Hansen. As soon as as soon as I started at Xavier, they bumped up to 90s.
Yeah.
And like everything just made sense. Everything just literally everything just
you can focus
clicked.
on your academics. Yeah.
And I would say to myself, okay, I'm in a new school. I want to do well. My parents expect well from me. My sisters have already, you know, displayed that they can do good things, get the job done. And so I was just like, okay, well, every single time I have a test or an assignment, I'm gonna start it a week before, which was like revolutionary for me at the time. Usually it was like the night before. Let's like study a little
15
bit.
minutes on the bus to school, just grinding through it. Yeah.
Right. And so what I decided to do was like I'm gonna start studying for whatever it is.
Yeah.
A week in advance.
Yeah.
Little by little, study for it a week in advance, and I would go back to school after I started. I'd ask questions. I get my questions answered, and it was just a very relaxed way of approaching things. And then by the time it was the night before, I was just reviewing shit.
Easy money.
And then go to the test, destroy it.
Yeah.
Bang bang.
Like things just kind of fell into place for me.
Word.
And I didn't join the football team immediately. I still was playing soccer and doing that, and so it just kind of felt really chill, really relaxed. And I wasn't even there trying to make friends. I made a couple friends that, you know, I still kind of speak to, but it was just about getting my work done and making the move on to the next level.
And that's indicative of the guy that you are. So talk a little bit about, you know, obviously how you've used that mindset and that way of thinking and progressed to, you know, the careers that you've been into now and what you've kind of accomplished, because you're a successful guy, man, and I admire that.
I'm still working. I'm still working, and you know the thing, at the end of the day, the challenge is figuring out, you know, what the long-term goal is, right? And if you can have that as kind of your North Star, and I learned this from my father. I learned pretty much, you know, most of what I'm saying from my father. If you can have that as your North Star, whatever it is, then things just kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize. Because when you talk about North Star, I know what you mean, but I know for a fact there's a lot of people listening that are like, what are you talking about? Like North Star.
So when
explain it for...
I'll give you an example. Yeah. So if I'm... All right. So I'll tell you a story. So, you know, looking at where I wanted to go to university, right?
Right.
I was thinking about, you know, where was the best place for me to get the biggest bang for my buck. So where can I go to spend the least amount in tuition?
Absolutely.
Get a degree, and still have the opportunity to make, you know, the money that I'm looking to make. Right.
100%.
And that was the vision that I had. That was the question that I was seeking to answer from grade 11.
See.
So
just thinking early, nigga.
I was not thinking about that.
That's
in
what I'm
grade 11.
saying.
I was thinking about, am I going to smash this chick?
That's what I'm saying. That's why this guy is. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back and talk about that. We can go back and talk about that later.
We'll go back to that later.
Yeah, we'll go back to that later.
We'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that. But definitely, I'm always thinking about, what is the ultimate goal of what we're trying to achieve here. And in that situation, I was thinking, where can I go and spend the least amount of money while still, because I don't want my parents were helping me out. Yeah. I don't want my parents to spend a lot of money on me. So I literally just wanted to find a place where I could get, spend the least amount of money, get the biggest bang for my buck. But not only that, where can I choose to go where I have to do the least amount of shitty courses that I don't like to do while still A, getting in, and B, doing well.
Yeah. I never thought of that.
Right? Because
I thought of that when I was in college.
Well, think about it, right? Like, if at the time, if I wanted to go to, U of T, York, Western, all these these are prestigious universities in the Toronto area in Southern Ontario, and I was thinking, okay, well, maybe I should go to one of these schools. Each one of those schools required calculus, right? And well, here's the thing. Listen to what I was thinking. I was thinking to myself, all right, well, these schools require calculus, but data management is an M-level course. And for people for people that are listening, M-level is university, college level courses, right? It's not a C-level course, it's an M-level course. Calculus is the U-level course. Yeah. But M-level courses can be applied to both college and university, right? And depending on the university, they may accept an M-level course in place of a C-level, in place of a U-level course. Right. And so when I was looking at the various universities that were available, I thought to myself, okay, Ryerson, I can get in with data management. U of T I can't. Western I can't. York I can't. Yeah. They all require me to have some type of final grade in calculus. And I just really wasn't trying to do that. Yeah. I'm so glad you dropped calculus. Dude, I just really was not trying to do that.
I dropped calculus every time I saw it on my schedule.
Right.
I mean, was like, nope.
I just 11, was not.
Nope. Grade 12. Nope.
I had no desire to do it. No. Number one, I did not see how it would be applicable to my life moving forward. Right. And the third and most important thing is, I thought this would be a drag on my average, and possibly affect my possibilities of getting into university. Exactly. This didn't make any sense to me, right?
I dropped calculus every time I saw it.
Yeah, so there was that, and then as well, where am I going to get the most money? Who's going to give me the biggest scholarships based on my academic performance? And that was Ryerson. It just pointed to Ryerson.
Shout out to Ryerson. That's where I went to first.
And then the other thing too is Ryerson had the cheapest. They were cheap. It was like what, $5,200 to get a BCom at the time?
Bro?
Yeah, $5,200.
Shout out to you. Man, I went to Ryerson.
Shit, bro. I paid more than that for college.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is that you have to think about it. Okay, at the time, Ryerson was kind of on the come up.
It was a polytechnical.
They were the equivalent.
No, this was it used to be a polytechnical school back in the 60s, long time ago. It changed over. I think it was in the 60s.
Ryerson School of Business or something like that.
Right. So it was they were on the come up at the time. A lot of people were talking about Ryerson. You gotta look out because that's the prospective pick. That's a junior, and you invest in that guy, right? It's like LeBron when he's 15. Are you gonna wait until he's 18 to get him, or are you gonna get him when he's 15 and say, "Hey LeBron, hey LeBron, hey LeBron"? You know what I mean? So by the time he turns pro, it's I'm going with these guys. Obviously,
it's an investment.
It's an investment. Right. So you have to see where the stock is rising. And I saw that Ryerson was a rising stock.
Yeah. So I did not see that. I just wanted to go to journalism. I just wanted to be on radio. And I was like, Ryerson's got the best radio broadcasting program. Yep. I'm going to Ryerson.
Right.
I didn't get in, but I said, fuck it. I'll take this criminal justice program, get my foot into the school, and then transition after a year. It didn't work, though. Stupid. It didn't work. Real talk. So honestly, when I was in grade 12, I applied to Ryerson. In the radio broadcasting, I applied.
And they have a great school.
Yeah, I did the interview. I did everything they asked me to do to present to get into the program. I did. I went to the interview. I presented my portfolio. I didn't get in. There was a waiting list of 100.
That's what I'm saying. Ryerson's journalism school literally has people preparing when they're 10 years old.
I didn't know
trying to work on their fucking portfolio so they can present when they're 18.
When I was there, I was presenting a portfolio I worked on for 6 months. There was literally 8 people beside me that had been doing radio since they were 15.
Right.
Wow. And I was like, I'm not getting it.
So you've always wanted to do radio?
Always wanted to do radio.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why this podcast thing is just like a walk in the park for me.
That's why I did not know.
And it's funny because when I didn't get into Ryerson's broadcasting program, I went to York and I applied